She infiltrated his life with one mission: to destroy him from the inside out. Pretend to be a prostitute, seduce him, manipulate him, and make the powerful businessman lose everything. But what no one saw coming, not even her, was what would happen when emotions began to take over. Desire, passion, and what started as a calculated game of revenge turned into something dangerous and uncontrollable. She's about to destroy the most powerful man in the city. But what will happen when she starts falling for him? And him, is he as immune as he thinks? From the moment she walked into his life, she was nothing but a lie. But not just any lie. It was a carefully crafted trap. She pretended to be a prostitute, a woman with nothing but a broken past, all to get close to him, the most powerful man in the city. Her mission was clear: destroy him, tear down his empire from the inside, make him pay for the dark secrets he hid. But what she never expected was what she'd feel being so close to him. He wasn't like other men. He was strong, intimidating, but when his eyes locked with hers, there was a vulnerability she hadn't anticipated. The first time their gazes met, something inside her cracked. It wasn't part of the plan. It wasn't supposed to happen, but attraction took over, and her mission began to blur. Every time she saw him, her heart beat faster. She was supposed to seduce him, manipulate him, not fall for him. But as she sat in the shadows of his lavish penthouse, watching him move, speak, and exist in a world of untouchable power, she couldn't ignore the growing pull between them. He was everything she despised, yet everything she wanted. The plan was simple. The mission was clear. But now she was questioning everything. Could she destroy him and still protect her own heart from the chaos she was about to unleash? It started as a game, a way to get closer to him, to play with his emotions. She didn't expect to feel what she did. The plan was simple: seduce him, get him to trust her, and then destroy him. But as each day passed, the lines between the mission and her growing feelings became harder to distinguish. Every touch, every word they exchanged, made her heart race. She was good at what she did. She had to be. She kept reminding herself of that. But when he looked at her with those piercing eyes, she found herself doubting everything. He wasn't like the others. He saw something in her that made her want to believe in things she'd sworn off. It wasn't supposed to be like this. She was supposed to be cold, calculating, unaffected. But the more she played the game, the more her emotions tangled with the lies she was telling. She wasn't just seducing him anymore, she was falling for him. But she knew what would happen if he found out the truth. He would hate her, despise her, and everything she had worked for would be destroyed. Every night they spent together, she felt a part of her slipping away. She wasn't just pretending anymore. She was living a lie. And every moment she spent with him made her wonder if there was any way out. Could she truly go through with it? Could she still bring herself to destroy the man she had come to love? The more she fell for him, the more dangerous everything became. Secrets she had carefully hidden began to surface. Every moment with him was a reminder that she was playing with fire, and sooner or later, someone would get burned. She thought she could control the situation. She thought that once the job was done, she could walk away and leave everything behind. But the closer she got to him, the more she realized she couldn't simply walk away. Her heart was involved now, and the stakes were higher than she could ever have imagined. He started to open up to her. He trusted her in ways that no one else did. Every conversation felt like a confession, each vulnerable moment deepening the bond they shared. He was everything she had been taught to hate, a powerful man with a past full of lies and corruption. But as she looked at him, as she listened to his struggles, she saw a side of him no one else could see. She couldn't help herself. She loved him, but loving him was dangerous. Loving him meant risking everything she had built, her future, her mission, and most of all, her heart. But even as she struggled with the growing feelings, she knew one thing for sure: if he ever found out the truth, it would destroy everything. She was playing a game she could no longer control. She had crossed a line, and there was no turning back. The question was no longer if she would betray him, but when. Everything she had worked for came crashing down in an instant. The truth, the one she had kept hidden, buried deep, was exposed, and there was no escaping the consequences. She had known this moment would come, but she hadn't prepared for the impact it would have. He stood there, staring at her, his face a mix of rage, disbelief, and something else, something that she couldn't quite read. She had spent weeks, months, getting to know him, learning his deepest fears, his darkest secrets. But now, it was her turn to face the truth. "You lied to me," he said, his voice cold, cutting through the silence that hung between them. "You used me. Everything was a lie." She couldn't speak. The weight of the betrayal pressed down on her chest, suffocating her. The man she had come to love, the man she had hurt the most, was now looking at her as if she were his enemy. The guilt was overwhelming, but so was the love she still felt for him. "I never wanted to hurt you," she whispered, barely able to hold back the tears. "But I didn't know how to stop. I never meant to fall for you." His expression softened for a brief moment, but it was fleeting. "You should have never gotten close. You should have stayed away." She knew he was right. She should have kept her distance, stuck to the plan, finished the job. But now, everything was falling apart. The mission had been simple, but her heart had complicated everything. And in that moment she realized, the truth had destroyed everything. There was no going back. There was only one thing left to do: face the consequences. She stood there, heart pounding, watching the man she loved, the man she had deceived, stand at the edge of his empire. The pieces of everything they had built now scattered at their feet. The truth had come out, and now the only thing left to do was face the wreckage. He didn't speak for what felt like an eternity. His silence was louder than any words could ever be. She wanted to reach out to him, to tell him that she was sorry, that everything she had done, every lie she had told, was because she was afraid of the power he held, afraid of how much she could lose, but she didn't. She couldn't. "I never wanted this," she said, her voice barely a whisper. "I never wanted to destroy you. But now, ... now I'm the one destroyed." He turned to her, his eyes burning with a mix of anger and something else, pain, perhaps, or regret. She couldn't tell. "You should have never come into my life. I trusted you. I gave you everything, and you tore it all apart." Her breath caught in her throat. The weight of his words crushed her. But in that moment, as he stood there, looking at her with all the hurt and betrayal she had caused, she realized something. She was ready to lose everything for him, if it meant having a chance to make things right. "I'll do whatever it takes to make this right," she said, stepping closer. "Please, don't let this be the end." For a moment, he didn't respond. But then, slowly, his gaze softened. The anger remained, but now there was something else there, a glimmer of hope. Maybe even forgiveness. "Can you ever forgive yourself?" he asked, his voice quiet. She didn't know, but she knew one thing. She had to try. For him, for herself. And in that fragile, delicate moment, they both had a choice to make: redemption or destruction. The choice wasn't just for one of them. It was for both. Would love be enough to heal the wounds they had inflicted on each other? Or had they already gone too far?